Technology in teaching is so prevalent that we rarely think that it makes a difference, but the reality is that technology sends a message all its own. And a good example of that is the difference between education 50 years ago and education now in light of Sesame Street. Education used to be a classroom type of thing where a teacher taught, and now it's a puppet show. And it's entertainment, it's fun, and it's funny. And there's nothing good or bad about either of those settings, but it just sends a different message each time. So as a teacher, you just need to be aware of a couple things. First, technology has a message all its own. So think about the difference between receiving a letter, receiving an email, and receiving a text message. You may receive the same content in each of those, but if someone takes the time to write a letter, you think it's more valuable. If they send a quick text, you may blow it off as being, meaningful, but not quite as much. Technology's message may be subtle, but it's still present. And just as an example, think of the difference between being in a group of 25 people where the teacher doesn't have a microphone and when they do. When they do have a microphone, you think what they say is important, they're mic'd. What I say is less important, I'll probably just ask questions. The third thing is to remember that just because you can use technology doesn't mean that you should use technology. It often will, it can distract from the message. And the best example of that is PowerPoint in the 90s. Everyone just wanted to use it, and every time they did, it sent its own message. So one of the list of some of the messages it sent a message of Christianity is a bunch of bullet points. Christianity is nice and tidy. It can be cleaned and written up like this. What's on the screen is more important than what that person's saying. What's on the screen is more important than what's in the word itself. Hey, that's really cool what's up on the screen. Oh man, that's really awesome. I should get that. Maybe I need a new computer. Make sure that as you're preparing, the technology that you use lines up with the message that you're trying to communicate. The final point to just keep in mind is that ultimately God, through His Spirit, is the one who teaches. Sometimes we get so caught up in using technology that we spend more time with the technology than we do praying, meditating, loving people, and teaching. And so just keep in mind that the technology can be a help. It sends its own message. Make sure that the message it sends lines up with the message you're trying to communicate.